This week, the PGA Tour moves to the Space City for the Vivint Houston Open, which is the final tour event before the Masters. And some of the biggest names in golf are scheduled to compete at Memorial Park. They include world number one Dustin Johnson and Adam Scott, both playing for the first time since testing positive for COVID-19. Brooks Koepka in only his second event since a long layoff to recover from hip and knee injuries. Masters champions Phil Mickelson, Jordan Spieth and Sergio Garcia, as well as other fan favourites Ricky Fowler, Tony Finau and Jason Day. And the fans will be rewarded this week as this marks the first tournament in the United States in nearly 8 months to have spectators back on property. Until last week, no PGA Tour event anywhere had welcomed spectators since the opening round of the Players on March 12th. The recent Bermuda Championship did also allow a limited number of fans on property. And we can now welcome Tournament Director of the Houston Open to learn a bit more about the spectator experience during a pandemic. Colby, Callaway, thank you for taking the time to join us on Golf Central. Congratulations on this achievement. Can you explain how the decision to welcome fans back came about for this week?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, thanks for having me. A lot of planning, a lot of thought went into this, a lot of planning with the city of Houston and the PGA Tour. Just the decision to get fans, is it the right time? Is it not the right time? We feel like it's the right time. We think we've got some stuff in place. We've got 250 acres here, right here, smack dab in Memorial Park, in the city limits of Houston, Texas. So we think we're ready, and we're excited to have those 2,000 fans out here with us over the weekend.
Tell us, Colby, what limitations do you have specifically for the number of fans, the total capacity each day, and what safety procedures will there be in place?
Sure, we're going to cap it right at 2,000. I think it's a good number. Again, with the ample space that we have, golf course, wide open spaces, we've pushed rope lines back to keep everybody away from the players. But biggest thing for us is just the protocols we have. Like you said, all spectators will be screened upon arrival, both with a questionnaire and a temperature check. Mask will be required by everyone unless you're actively eating and drinking. And we've been masking up here in Houston, Texas, throughout the pandemic. The mayor's office has really pushed that campaign upon us. So we're all used to that here. PPE products will also be included, including over 100 hand sanitizing stations. I cannot stress enough, just remind each other, respect each other's space, 6 feet apart. That's the most important. And remember the 3 W's here at the Vivint Houston Open. It's going to be wear your mask, watch your distance, and let's wash our hands. And finally, if you're not feeling well, don't join us. We don't want you. We love you, and we'll get you next year. But if you're not feeling well, don't come out to the Houston Open. Watch us on TV. You'll see a bunch of superstars. The
3 W's, I like that. Tell me, how does that 2,000 number differ to the number that you would have typically allowed each day pre-pandemic?
Yeah. With the field that we've gathered, I can't even imagine. Again, this is a first-year event for us at Memorial Park, and we were really excited. Things were going very well prior to the shutdown. Our sales were through the roof in February and early March. So we were expecting 25, maybe even 30,000 fans on site. So it's a big difference. But at the same time, we're planning like we're having 30. We just have 2,000. We've got tons of space available. We've got great pavilions where actually a ticketed person will be assigned in a pavilion. So we not just go into one concession stand all at the same time. We've scattered them out through the golf course. We do think we've created the proper space for our fans to properly socially distance and enjoy themselves, most importantly, and watch these superstars play.
It's a small step back to some normalcy, and I think we're all grateful for that, Colby, so thank you. And I understand that limited number of tickets are sold out, so sounds like it has been a popular move. Lastly, let's touch on the venue. You mentioned Memorial Park hosting the Houston Open for the first time since 1963. What can you tell us about the venue and how you think it will play for the strong field that you have this week?
Well, the venue's awesome. Tom Doak came in and really took the old bones and renovated it. Jim Crane and Giles Kibbe, both here with the Houston Astros, and the guys who are really behind the Astros Golf Foundation, had a vision, and the vision was just to create something really special for the people here in Houston. It's a great municipal golf course that we all get to enjoy for a relatively little fee. But guys are going to see a golf course that is straight ahead of them. Lots of difficult rough, though. I think the rough is going to be the key to this thing. Keep out of it because it's thick. We got great green complexes. The guys are going to have the ball. It is a great stop prior to Augusta National next week. We're really, really fortunate to have a place like this.
That is good advice, Colby. Yeah, the rough's there. Keep out of it. We're so looking forward to watching this unfold. It's been wonderful speaking to you. We can feel your energy, so congratulations. Good luck on a great week, and we'll be watching.
Well, thank you. We look forward to having everybody watch. We're very excited.
Next week, Golf Channel is bringing you the most comprehensive coverage, live from Augusta National, live from the Masters. All next week here on Golf. This year, drive, chip and putt qualifying was cancelled due to COVID-19, but all eligible qualifiers for the 2020 National Finals are now scheduled to compete at Augusta National in April 2021 instead. Some of the best stories, though, don't just come from the national qualifiers, but from all of those trying to make it to Augusta. Those like Hunter Hedgeco of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Lauren Thompson has his story.
It's the type of course that golfers fall in love with. The tall pines and hardwoods, the beautiful shrubbery. Every summer here at Duke University's golf course, young golfers from around North Carolina come with heads full of hopes and dreams. But in July 2018, one hopeful golfer was not on this 60-year-old course, but 2 miles away, beyond the pines, fighting for his life and trying to find his way out of Duke University Hospital.
He just looked really sick. You could see it in his eyes. He seemed in pain, and he seemed very scared. And I thought, we cannot lose him.
Just a few weeks earlier, Claire and David Hedgeco's son Hunter was a quiet, healthy 9-year-old who had to be dragged off the golf course, a standout on his PGA Junior League team. But a sinus infection and cold became something much worse, something inexplicable that forced his family to transfer him to Duke's Medical Center an hour and a half away.
When he got to us, he wasn't able to speak. He was not able to hold his head up. When you asked him to sit up on the side of the bed, he couldn't stand, he couldn't walk. He was losing a lot of function from head going down. Our biggest fear was that we were gonna have to put a breathing tube. That was really scary for Claire and David to hear, because no parent wants to see their child not being able to breathe on their own.
When I saw him, the only thing I could do was think of the worst that was gonna happen. And I couldn't get that thought out of my head. He was just moaning and didn't seem to notice that we were there, and I couldn't bear to see him like that.
That Monday night got even worse, so we kind of kept going. Things cannot continue to get worse. I mean, it can't. Worse is not an option.
Support came from knowing that their community was thinking of and praying for Hunter. Their local church held a prayer vigil for Hunter on Tuesday, and the next day, his family started seeing small signs of hope.
I remember someone had brought a chocolate in. I was taking a little bite of it, and I saw Hunter's eyes dart to the side, and I saw him looking at it, and I thought, you want this, don't you? I said, I will buy you 100 of these when we get out of here. But when I saw that, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's Hunter.
Hunter wasn't out of the woods, though, and doctors spoke to his parents about a 1 to 2 year recovery period.
I had to relearn to walk and eat and drink. When I got home, I had to learn how to swing a bat and swing a golf club and shoot a basketball. It was hard for me because I knew how to swing, and I loved sports so much, and I really never had to learn them.
He could throw a ball, but he couldn't throw it really far, and he couldn't run. He had a little belt on, and my mom and dad had to hold him while he was walking.
A couple of weeks after he had been home, I just kind of wanted to get him out and get him on the golf course, something he was familiar with. He could not get the ball in the air, taking a full swing, because when he took a full swing, he almost fell over.
I remember thinking, I'm not gonna be able to hit drives again or hit a golf ball and play tournaments and meet new friends.
But Hunter's relearning curve was short, And several months later, he was back on the golf course competing against kids his age.
That December, he played his first golf tournament, U.S. Kids Tournament, and it was raining and 33 degrees, almost sleeting. And when he hit that first drive, he hit it right down the middle, and that was just really cool.
Hunter next won a drive, chip, and putt tournament for the first time, advancing to the following round at, of all places, the Duke Golf Course, almost a year to the day from his emergency hospital stay nearby.
His first drive actually went out of bounds. And that's a little disappointing because, you know, you've got 9 shots, all 9 have got to count. And I can remember going, well, that's kind of a bummer because I didn't think he'd be able to come back and post a really good score from that point.
I remember my chips, they all looked really good, and I just tried to do better on my putts.
With golfers still on the course, Hunter posted a score placing him in the top 2.
25.
He'd advance if no one else placed above him.
My dad has a little scoring app, and it showed I was in second, and there was one guy left, and he came like 5th, and I moved on. After
he won, we went over and took some pictures in front of the hospital, and in a way almost to say thanks, but in a way to coming back here now, winning this golf tournament rather than being in the PICU at Duke.
It wasn't even that he was, winning something. It's just he was playing. He was playing golf. The rest that's icing on the cake. It was more than we asked for.
Hunter Hedgeco won his local qualifying at Methodist University Golf Course. Then, Hunter's second-place finish at the sub-regional at Duke University moved him on to the regional qualifier at Atlanta Athletic Club in September 2019, where he was one of 12 finalists in the 10 to 11-year-old age group. Quite the accomplishment, especially considering everything he went through.